Governor Murphy is signing legislation to expand outdoor dining.
Thank you all so much for so graciously today and always welcoming me. And again, Mayor, thank you for your kind words and for welcoming us to East Rutherford. I lost Frank Ciampa. Where's Frank? Frank is in row 2. Frank, this is your joint, man. Let's hear it for Frank Ciampa. And his crew here at Vesta Wood-Fired Pizza. I think I'm going to hang out with you a little bit after this and see how you do it. Sarlo tells me there's no better pizza in New Jersey, and we all know the best pizza in the country is in New Jersey. So, Frank, thank you, man. What a treat it is to be, for the first time this week, but the second in 3 days, with one of the great fighters for New Jersey in Washington or anywhere, Congressman Bill Pascrell. I want to give a big shout out to Senator and Chairman and Mayor Paul Sarlo. We're in his district. Deep thanks for everything. And you're sitting beside Assemblyman Roy Fryman, not his district, but very important. You guys are the lead sponsors of the legislation I'm going to sign today. So let's hear it for Roy as well as Paul. Senator, man of the world, Gordon Johnson is in the House. Senator, honored as always. Bless you. 2 to your right is the Chief Executive Officer of the New Jersey Economic Development Authority, without whom a lot of small businesses and restaurants wouldn't be standing today. Let's hear it for Tim Sullivan. Sullivan's everywhere. More on that in a moment. I want to also acknowledge a couple of folks over here. Mike Egginton from the New Jersey Chamber of Commerce. Mike, great to see you, buddy. Another great friend, Jim Kirkos of the Meadowlands Chamber. Jim, always. Duvi Honig, another dear friend from the Orthodox Jewish Chamber of Commerce, who's here with his son, I might add, and a new grandfather, Mazel Tov. Luis de la Hoz, where are you, Luis? Honored, as always, of the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. Great to be with you. From Bergen County, Chair of the County Commissioners, Tracy Zor. Tracy. And Tim Sullivan's cousin, the Vice Chair, Tom Sullivan. Tom, always. And by the way, a great labor leader in his own right. Any other commissioners here? I don't see them. So you guys are representing with great gusto. I also want to give a shout out to Anna Maria Adinolfi from Elia Mediterranean Restaurant right here in East Rutherford, because she and her husband advocated for this bill to Senator Paul Sarlo. Let's hear it for Anna Maria. Steph, I'm told if I introduce one more person, there will be fewer people I didn't introduce than I did introduce. I don't want to go over, I don't want to tip through that. Members of law enforcement also, guys, stay safe, and God bless you for everything you do. So 2 years ago, we took steps to expand outdoor dining across New Jersey out of necessity. We had no choice. We augmented those steps almost exactly a year and a half ago as our vaccination efforts got up to full steam. And today, I'm proud in a few minutes to be signing this legislation to allow outdoor dining to continue under the principles that we introduced back in 2020 and then codified in 2021 to get our restaurants through what remains of the pandemic. But now we're not having to, the good news here, we're not having to do so entirely out of necessity. To be sure, there are restaurants and bars and our growing numbers of breweries and distilleries that are still relying upon the outdoor dining spaces they were allowed to create to get themselves back financially to where they were pre-pandemic. We want to see them succeed, period. We want them to continue serving their customers and employing their workers. But to be equally sure, I'm signing this bill today because of the ever-increasing numbers of patrons who have simply come to enjoy outdoor dining on its own, especially on a beautiful summer night or a bright weekend day or maybe even a sunny weekday. They've come to enjoy the new atmosphere and character and sense of place that outdoor dining has given to their neighborhoods and downtowns. And let me say this unequivocally, we want this to continue. We want our restaurants to not just be locations, but destinations. We want them not just to be places to eat, but places where neighbors gather and communities thrive. And this is just one way we continue to support our restaurant industry. As Paul knows, because he's the budget chair, and Gordon and Roy and other members of the legislature know, the budget I signed a month ago augments these efforts with a $50 million investment in our Main Street Recovery Fund, which is overseen by Tim and his colleagues, which works alongside the total of $850 million in pandemic relief funds we have provided to our small business community through the Economic Development Authority as well. A significant portion of which, I might add, has gone to supporting local restaurants. But let's refocus for a second on today in this legislation. What was born out of necessity to help ensure the survival of wonderful local restaurants like Vesta Frank, we are now continuing out of the recognition of the way it has positively changed both the hospitality industry and the lives of our communities. New Jersey is home to at least two of the great American pastimes: eating terrific food and people watching. I would add drinking to that as a Murphy, but I'll leave that for another day. Outdoor dining has certainly allowed many New Jerseyans to indulge in all of those at once while providing a lift to our great restaurants. It has been a win-win-win. With that, we want to hear from a few more really important folks before we sign this bill. As I mentioned, it is my pleasure to introduce a guy who is in Washington fighting for us every single day, unlike anybody I know. Please help me welcome Congressman Bill Pascrell.